realized this through my break. Like, I do not want to go anywhere fast. I want to go slow and steady. Slow and steady. Build, learn, make mistakes. Do it all over again.
Get your water and get some wine. I should have had some wine.
With exposure, execution, and consistency, there is nothing you can't do. Just keep planting.
Hey y'all! It feels so good to be back. Oh my gosh. Like, as y'all can see, I am very much on brand. The skin is glowing, the fro is popping. Like, it feels so good to be back. If you are new here, this is your first time listening to a Responsible Homegirl podcast episode. I recently took a 3-week break to get my whole life together, okay? It's a shame that we often have to, like, reach our breaking point. Literally, our world gets shaken up. Our back is against the wall for us to, like, come to our senses and say, okay, sis, slow down, take a break. You're doing a little bit too much. And that's exactly where I was. And I was like, you know what? I gotta take me a break, because if not, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I took 3 weeks off to get myself together, to get back grounded, to get back balanced, so I could create from a place of joy, peace, and truth. Like, I never, ever, ever want to just be creating content just to create content, or posting just to post. Like, what's even the point? What's the point? Because there's so many content creators out here, so many people who are literally begging and grabbing for your attention. But at the end of the day, if it's not quality, it don't need to be out there, especially coming from me. So that's where I was, if you're new here. And before we get into this podcast episode today, I just want to thank y'all so much for rocking with me, for supporting me, for being with me since 2020. Like, through all the ups, the downs, the twists, the turns, the changes, all of that. Like, I am so grateful and so appreciative of each and every one of you. So thank you so much just for rocking with me and supporting your girl on this journey as I figure it out. Because please trust and believe, I do not have it all together. I do not have it all together, and I never want to paint a picture as if I have it all together, because I don't. Baby, I'm figuring this thing out step by step, day by day. One day I'm happy, next day I'm crying, next day I'm stressed out. Like, all of it. So thank y'all for being here and for supporting me and for rocking with me. Before we get into today's podcast episode, make sure you go to the responsiblehomegirl.com and download the free money management guide that I have created for you. Most of the time when people are starting their personal finance journey, they know that they want to do better with their money, but don't know exactly where to start. The money management guide is a great way for you to look at what you have going on right now and to take steps so you can get better. Like, I don't want you to get overwhelmed, like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. No, I want you to have a seat, literally sit down, assess what you have going on, and the free money management guide that I created for you will do just that. So make sure you go to the responsiblehomegirl.com, or just click the description, or just click the link in the description box below and go get that. You'll also be on my email list, where I'll send out different tips, gems, personal finance stuff, business stuff, all of the Responsible Homegirl things. So make sure you click that link, download that free money management guide, and get your personal finance journey started. Because, baby, inflation, I'm feeling it. Y'all, I am feeling inflation. And when I did, it's so funny. When I did the podcast interview with Des and Devin, they're from Supreme Financial, we talked about inflation on that episode. And y'all, it has gotten worse since then. We were talking about credit at that time. And I brought up how a 2-piece from Bojangles, y'all, my good and faithful 2-piece from Bojangles was $7. And that used to be a meal for $5.11. A week ago, I went to Tropical Smoothie and I got my usual, my Caribbean jerk chicken wrap, my Bahama Mama smoothie, and y'all, my meal was $15. $15. A meal that is usually $12. Okay, I know you're probably listening. You're like, Kiana, you're really tripping about $2 and $3. Okay, let's get into this gas. let's get into this gas because y'all, my Honda Civic used to take $20 to fill up, and now it's taking her $47. Please help me make it make sense. So when I say inflation is real, inflation is real. There is no better time than right now to get your money in order, start developing budgeting as a lifestyle. So you're not, I would just say so you won't like drown and just be overwhelmed and financially stressed because of things outside of our control. Like, we cannot control inflation. We can't control gas prices. We can't control our economy and what's going on. But what we can control is how much money we have coming in. We have control over our income, contrary to popular belief, but we'll get into that later. We have control over our income, and we most definitely have control over what is leaving out of our wallet, okay? So go download that free money management guide, and let's get into this podcast episode. That's really all I got to say about that. So like I told y'all, I was on a 3-week break, and on this break, I learned so much. So today I just want to be talking to you about my break, what I learned, and hopefully it encourages you to take a break if you need one. Start something back if you quit. Or you can just, give these encouraging words to somebody who you see out there getting it, but maybe need to take a step back so that they can really produce and be fruitful and effective, not just booked and busy. Shout out to Dr. Jackie Green at Ford City. She put us on to that. We are not in a season of just being booked and busy, just doing stuff just to be doing it. No, you need to be fruitful and effective. One major thing that I learned throughout my 3-week break is just because you're doing a whole lot, more hard work, super hard work, like that does not equate to success. That does not guarantee success. Most of the time, people, they quit, they give up on their dreams because they get tired. And why do they get tired? Because they feel like they're doing it all alone, and they're working from the time they open their eyes until the time that they go to sleep. Kiani, get me. So just like I'm sharing stuff with y'all throughout this podcast episode about things that I'm changing, my mindset shifts, I'm not saying it from a place of judgment. I'm saying it from a place like, oh, I went through it and baby girl, this is not the way. Because just because you work 14 hours, what is that changing for you? What is that really helping you do? Okay? So let's just get right into this podcast episode. Y'all, my 3-week break was amazing. One of I would say the best things that I learned throughout this break was that it is okay to rest. It is okay to take a step back and to just move slowly. I don't know why I have like this unhealthy relationship with time, and I think that like moving with a sense of urgency and doing stuff so fast and doing this and doing that is just like the right way to do it. I really feel like it's hustle culture, grind culture, and low-key what I saw growing up. But I don't want that. And I'm not going to continue to do that. Like, if y'all have been listening to the Responsible Homegirl podcast faithfully, y'all know I was uploading 2 podcast episodes a week. And I am a one-woman show. I don't have a production team. I don't have anybody helping me edit my videos, post, do podcast clips, send out emails. Y'all, this is a lot of work behind the scenes that you probably don't even know. But throughout my break, I was thinking, I'm like, Kiani, why are you even doing 2 podcasts? Why are you even uploading 2 podcast episodes a week? And if I'm being honest, it's because I was thinking, okay, the more I put out, the more I produce, the better I'll be. The more I put out, the more I produce, the better I'll be. Now, there is some truth to that, but at what expense? What expense will you put out more? Will it be at the expense of your mental health, the expense of stress, the expense of being tired, burnt out, where you feel like you don't want to do anything? You don't even want to do the Responsible Homegirl anymore, aka 3 weeks ago? So at what expense? I don't want to go fast. And I have realized this through my break. Like, I do not want to go anywhere fast. I want to go slow and steady, build, learn, make mistakes, do it all over again. Do it all over again. And it reminds me of this scripture in Proverbs, and it says, with inflation going crazy right now, it is very important that you learn how to manage the money that you work so hard for and budget well. Make sure that you make your budget a part of your lifestyle. I know that sometimes budgeting, we can kind of have our own little feelings about budgeting, or we just simply don't do it, or we don't consistently do it. Well, lifestyle budgeting is going to tackle all of those mindsets, all of those things that are stopping you from developing a lifestyle of budgeting. If you want your personal finances to do something different, if you want them to look different, you have to do something different. And the basics is budgeting. Make sure you click the link down below and download the 2022 edition of Lifestyle Budgeting. Let's get right back into the podcast episode. Wealth quickly gained is quickly wasted. Easy come, easy go. But if you gradually gain wealth, you will watch it grow. Proverbs 13:11. So I'm like, okay, Kiki, like you are doing all of this, trying to go to a place super duper fast, just so you can skip the mistakes, skip the journey. Like, I'm the one that always say, trust the process, trust your journey, blah, 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 blah. But want to get to a place super fast, microwavable. I don't want to slow cook it in the crock pot. Shout out to all my people who watch Think Like a Mogul. So I'm telling y'all, like, I'm being so real throughout this break. God helped me realize how I was being such a hypocrite. I'm giving this advice to other people, but not really taking it in myself. And I was definitely feeling the effects of not taking that advice myself. So that was one thing that I really learned, like, to just slow down. And if you want to build something sustainable, you want to build something that like lasts a long time, go slow. Build it brick by brick, steady by steady, day by day. Put one foot in front of the other and go, go, go. Because what you need more than anything is energy. You need energy. Y'all know when you don't feel like doing something, it takes everything out of you to still perform. And although I was still putting out content, I was still showing up consistently, it took everything out of me to do it. And who wants to be working from that place? Like, it's not even fun. So work from a place of rest, work from a place of ease, and take your time. Take your time, period. It reminds me of Summer Walker's song, Insane. If you ain't listened to her old album, go listen to it. But in this song, Insane, she was like, do y'all want me to sing it? I think I'm gonna sing it. I'm shy. Not really. But anyways, she was singing the song Insane. She was like, oh, what you in a rush for? Oh, you trying to meet your maker, darling? Oh, you running out of time? But time ain't even real. You really need to chill. It's all an illusion. Y'all heard that? I sound good. But anyways, Summer Walker is right. Time ain't even real. You really need to chill. It's all an illusion. Who told us that you need to do a thing by 25, or you need to do a thing by 30, or you need to make 6 figures by this moment or this time? Like, who told us that? Who told us that? And although those things are possible, and those things have happened for some people, and may happen for me, and may even happen for you, God willing, but we should not be rushing to get to a place. So listen to Insane. I promise you, it's gonna get you together. And one thing that I have like committed to myself is healing my relationship with time. And even when I feel like I'm in a place of rushing or trying to get someplace really fast, either literally or physically, like, Kiani, slow down, girl. Where are you rushing to? What I did during my break, y'all, I rest. Like, I was just in the bed. I read a lot. I journaled a lot. I listened to a lot of dope podcast episodes, a lot of sermons, read. I was just really doing whatever I was led to do. Honestly, I was really big chilling. And in that time of chilling, so many creative ideas came to me. So many things got revealed to me. And I'm like, wow, I never want to leave this place. I was so clear. I didn't have that worry of, oh, I gotta be doing this, or oh, I gotta be doing that. Like, even that, like, changing our mindset around what we got to do. Like, instead looking at everything as an opportunity of what I get to do. Because I get to do this, I want to, execute with excellence. And the only way that we can execute with excellence, if you are able to give all of you, to give all of yourself, and if you are depleted, drained like how I was, and really just over it, you can't do that. So that's what I did through my break. Some of the things that I learned, I want to talk about 3 major things that I learned. I learned a whole lot during the break, but I thought that these 3 things would really help you. So 1, I am reading the book Balance. I'm almost finished. I feel like I got like maybe 2 more chapters left or something like that. By the time this come out, I may honestly be done with the book, but Balance by Tori Roberts. This book is so good. It's so good, and it got me together. It revealed so much things to me as to why I was stressed, overwhelmed, and just not performing the way that I wanted to be performed in my personal life and in my business. So go check out Balance. But it's this specific part in Balance, and they talk about how we work. So we don't work from a place of lack. We don't work from a place of deep desire. No, we work from a place of possession. Saying, because I serve a God that literally owns everything. God is in control of everything. Everything. I want us to get that through our mind. Because I serve a God who owns everything, I don't work from a place of lack or deprivation. I work from a place of possession. So because I already know that I already got a thing, it is my responsibility to put myself in a position to receive. Kiani, how do you put yourself in a position to receive? By planning, by being prepared, and by, of course, working hard. And when I read that, I was like, wow, that's crazy, because some of the things or some of the reasons why we work from a place of fear, saying, oh, I never want to get back to this place. Oh, I never want to be quote unquote broke again. Oh, I never want to be down bad again. We're working from a place of lack. Or we're working from a place of, oh, I want this so, so bad. Oh, if I do X, Y, Z, then I'm going to get this. And when you don't get it, you disappointed. It's a hard pill to swallow, but when we change our mindset around like why we work and how we show up, I believe that it's going to be a game changer. And when I read that, I was like, wow. I'll put it exactly how he said it in the book. My hair, Jesus. I'll put it the exact way that he put it in the book in the description box, so y'all can kind of read it verbatim, but that's just my interpretation of it, how I perceive it. So next thing out of that book is saying no and the power of no. See, I was already in my no era, because one thing about me, I am a very kind person. I used to say I'm a very nice person, but I have had to even change my mindset around being nice, because being nice can have you, I don't even want to put my mouth on that. I don't even want to tell you what being nice will have you like really getting taken advantage of. So I would say I'm a really kind person. And sometimes in the past, I would do things out of obligation or do things because I felt like, oh, like I may need them to do something for me one day, or, oh, well, I'm not doing nothing. I could do this, blah, blah, blah. Like I had no boundaries set up. So before even reading this book, I was already in a phase of, okay, I need to put up boundaries in place. I need to, limit my access, because one thing about saying yes too much, eventually you will come to a place where you are bitter and you are resentful. And I never want to do things and feel like, dang, I shouldn't have did that. And I've been there before. Like where I'm bitter and I'm in my feelings saying, oh, I do this for people, I do that for people, and nobody shows up for me, blah, 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 playing the blame game. But when you start taking responsibility, aka the Responsible Homegirl, very much on brand today. When you start taking responsibility and accountability for your actions, really taking back your power, nobody made you do anything. Nobody made you say yes. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's be real. Let's be real. And I know I'm not the only one that feels like they always have to say yes, 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 yes. But I'm telling you right now, there is so much power in saying no. And guess what? You don't have to have an explanation for why you say no. I just really want to free somebody. You do not have to have an explanation for why you say no. The answer is no, and that's just that. And one thing that I love that Tory Roberts says in the book, he said the reason why you need to be very selective with your no's is because your yes is so expensive. And I was like, you're right. My yes is so expensive. And I'm not talking about just expensive in the regards of money. Your yes is expensive in time, in planning, in what you have to do, what you have to sacrifice. Because when you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. So I really want that to, resonate with y'all. I really want y'all to take that in, especially for the people who are just like me or were just like me, because I'm not claiming that anymore. You don't have to feel obligated to do anything. Put some boundaries in place and start saying no. Okay? One time I was having, matter of fact, this is probably like 2 weeks ago, I was having a conversation with Ziri, which is my little sister, and she was like, Kiani, one time you used to say yes, 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 and now all you say is no, no, no. And I was like, that made me feel so good. Thank you for that, Ziri. And she looked at me like I was crazy. But I was being very honest. I'm happy she told me that, because there was a time where I had no boundaries set up. And I'm just letting people, and I'm not even going to say letting people, I'm letting myself fall victim to what other people need, other people's responsibilities. I'm just letting other people put monkeys on my back. And no, we're not doing that. Put some boundaries in place and understand that there is so much power in no. So the second thing that I real life learned throughout this break is lifestyle design. So I had heard of the concept of lifestyle design before my break, but I am in Tiffany, the Budget Nisa. I love her so much, one of my biggest role models. Her mentorship program via her Patreon. Y'all, it is only $10 a month. Only $10 a month. So if you go to mymentortiffany.com, you can get into her Patreon, and there she's not really talking about personal finance stuff. She's really talking about entrepreneurship, business, things of that sort. And in this specific live, she talked about lifestyle design and how all of the time people say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. And we are working ourselves in the graves and not really understanding what it is that we're even working towards. And lifestyle design is this concept of thinking about how you want your life to look. So what is it that you do well? What is it that you enjoy? What can you see yourself doing for the rest of your life? What do you even want to do? Why are you doing what you're doing? What type of house do you want to live in? Who do you want to give back to? Like, you are literally designing your life. Designing your life, and then you are putting a price beside each of them. So like, one thing that I don't want to do in the future is cook. Y'all, I absolutely hate cooking. So Lord, please send me a husband that know how to cook, because if not, we're just going to be hiring a private chef. But that is something that she talked about. She talked about how cooking used to stress her out. And she was like, okay, I just talked to one of my friends, and she was like, you can get a chef. She was like, girl, a chef is too fancy. Like, I ain't get no chef. Meanwhile, she's making $10 million a year. But it's these mindsets that we have, like we can't afford certain things, or certain things are above us. And in the live that I'm telling y'all about, she's talking about lifestyle design and actually listing out what it is that you want out of your life, doing the research on how much these things may cost relatively, and then aligning yourself with those goals to, reach that certain point in life. And she also talked about something that I really love. It's not just sacrificing to the one day. Actually live your dream life now. I know that there are certain things that may be quote unquote off limits to you because of money, or you may feel like you can't afford certain things. But just because those things look like roadblocks, like, they're not really roadblocks. Put yourself in a position to get the things that you desire and to really live the life that you want to live, because being real, it may not take you becoming a millionaire to have your dream life. Your dream life may only cost you $250,000. Your dream life may cost you $100,000. Like, we have to get out of this rat race and like this spirit of comparison, thinking just because somebody wants to do one thing or somebody has one thing that is the same thing for us. And that's just not true. That's not true at all. So that's lifestyle design. Another thing that I was really moved by, really encouraged by. And like I said, Tiffany, her Patreon is only $10 a month, and it is super worth it. Like, this lady is a multi-millionaire and giving away free game for $10 a month. So do with that information what you will. The next thing, so throughout my entire break, I've been heavy reading the book in the Bible, Acts. And Acts is really a book about how the gospel got spread really across the world after Jesus ascended, and basically his disciples picked up the torch and was just out here spreading the good news. So in this specific chapter, the Bible that I read, they have different footnotes. And this footnote at the end got me together. I want to read this to y'all, and I'll also put it in the description box so you can write it on an index card just like I did, and you can keep this in the back of your mind when things get hard, when you want to give up. So here's what the footnote said. Effective living is not measured by what we accomplish as much as it is by what we overcome in order to accomplish our goals. So it's not really about us accomplishing the goals. It's about what we overcome to get to the goal. So going back to the journey and what we learned throughout that journey, right? So another part, when we go down, it says, maturity comes as a result of learning from mistakes, not the absence of them. So I know sometimes when we make a mistake, we are very hard on ourselves about, dang, I wish this didn't go that way, or I wish this didn't happen. Like, we low-key despise mistakes. We low-key are not grateful for the mistakes. But in this footnote, it says right there that mistakes are really our greatest teachers. We don't learn as much on the mountaintop as we do in the valley. When we in the valley, y'all, our ears open, our eyes are wide. We like, Lord, please help me out of this. Teach me whatever it is that you're trying to teach me so I can get up out of there. But when we're on the mountaintop, everything is all good. Everything is just going the way that we desire. And we don't necessarily get the lessons that God is trying to teach us and reveal to us. So I'll just encourage you all to be grateful for your mistakes. Be even more grateful for your journey, because there is so much that God is trying to teach you while you are on your path to getting you to where he wants you to be. So please, please, please take that in. And yeah, just remember, effective living is not really about getting to the goal. It's about what you overcome in the process of getting to that goal. So now moving forward, I talked about the break, why I took one, what I did through the break, what I learned. And now we're going to talk about moving forward, what you can expect from the Responsible Homegirl on a consistent basis, because y'all know your girl is the queen of consistency. But this time I'm going to be consistent from a place of rest, like I said, joy, and most importantly, peace. Anything that is disrupting my peace, gotta go. And I would encourage you to do the same. Anything that is disrupting your peace, it has to go, because it's not serving you. So now moving forward, every week I will be uploading one podcast episode a week. Yes, I said it. One. The good old days of 2 podcast episodes are gone. Big gone. Okay? So I'll be uploading one podcast episode a week every Tuesday at 12. So every Tuesday at 12, make sure you tune in to the YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast episode, because I will have new podcast episodes for you every Tuesday at 12. Okay? Next, I am bringing back the Patreon. Inside of the Patreon, we are doing a book club that starts on July 1st. And the first book that we are reading is Everyone Should Be Millionaires. I think that's the name of that book. Or is it All Women Should Be Millionaires? I think it's Everyone Should Be Millionaires or something like that. Anyways, I'll put the name of the book, the title of the book, the link to the book in the description box. But in the Patreon, this is going to be an exclusive community where we are just going to help each other out on our journey, right? Our personal finance, our entrepreneurship journey. And all of my close homegirls, close homeboys who actually come inside of the Patreon, just know that I have something very special cooking up for y'all. So if you want to be a part of the book club, the only way that you can join is inside of the Patreon. So click the link in the description box to join the Patreon. And like I said, book club is starting on July 1st. Also, inside the Patreon, you'll get access to the Think Like a Mogul podcast episodes first. So before they come out on a Tuesday, I'll say you'll probably get access to it like days before. So maybe a Friday, maybe a Saturday, maybe even on a Thursday. I haven't really figured out the schedule yet, but you will get access to it before the general population. And we'll be talking about different podcast episodes, like having the after show. You'll be able to ask me questions that I can give back to my guests and they can answer them for you. So this is really just a community to dig deeper and to really make the change and see the change that we want to see in our personal and our professional lives. What else? Oh, what I'm very excited about is merch. So as y'all can see right here, I have on my Responsible Homegirl top. It's a halter top. For all my women out there, we are coming out with merch. It will be launched on July 1st. Y'all, I am working on this brand campaign. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be so crazy. I'm going to be giving y'all some behind the scenes, especially in the Patreon, and how I come up with creative ideas, because I know a lot of people who listen to the Responsible Homegirl podcast, they have their own businesses or they even want to start a business. So I'll be giving you tips and gems on marketing, branding, all of that different stuff inside of the Patreon as well. So make sure you join the Patreon, because that is where all the fun stuff is going to happen. All the behind the scenes, all of the inside stuff that I'm not necessarily going to be sharing on social media. Now, let's see. Is there anything that I am leaving out for what to expect? So no. I think that's it. So yeah, that's about it. One podcast episode a week. Merch coming up July 1st. Patreon, exclusive community. Make sure you join, because it's going to be a whole situation. Book club starting on July 1st as well. We're going to be having weekly check-ins inside of the Patreon, discussing the book, discussing business, personal finance, all of that good stuff. So make sure you join. So yeah, that's about it. My 3-week break was amazing. If you didn't get anything from it, or what I really want you to get from it is, girl, take a break. Take a break, because I'm pretty sure it's what you need. If you stop something, if you quit something because you were tired, you were overwhelmed, you were burnt out, pick it back up, because I'm pretty sure all you needed was a break. Take a break, but do not quit. Take a break, but do not quit. After listening to this podcast episode, please tell me in the comments, what was your number one takeaway? What did you get out of this podcast episode? Did you miss me? Because I missed y'all. If you missed me, just comment below. I missed you, girl. I missed you, the Responsible Homegirl. Because I really did miss y'all. I really miss y'all. So I am very, very, very happy to be back. If you have not left a review or rated the podcast yet, and you listen to it on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a rating and review. I will be reading the reviews on the podcast episodes every single week. So make sure you leave us a rating, a review. If you're not listening on the podcast episode, feel free to email me a review. You can email me at theresponsiblehomegirl.com and just share me your money story. How have you been with money? How has the Responsible Homegirl helped you with your money? Or just really anything that you enjoy about the podcast, the brand, because the more we share, the more I can share and attract more people to our community. So, like I said in the very beginning, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for rocking with me. And yeah, we just gonna keep going up. Only way is up. The only way is up. Y'all already know, like I tell y'all on every single podcast episode, with exposure, with execution, and consistency, there is absolutely nothing you can't do. If you love the Responsible Homegirl podcast, there are plenty of ways to show your support. I have them also listed in the description box. 1, leave us a rating or review. 2, email me a review of the podcast so that I can share on social media. 3, I have listed our PayPal where you can send whatever you feel led to send. Or 4, by joining our Patreon, our exclusive community where we host book clubs and we talk about all things personal finance and entrepreneurship. Whatever you decide to do, just know that I am so grateful and I appreciate you for sharing the Responsible Homegirl with all of your homegirls and all of your homeboys. Thank y'all so much.